Welcome to the winter recap of my Stardew Valley min-max and 100% perfection guide, where we are trying to earn as much money as possible in as little time as possible and achieve each of the perfection goals as soon as we can. In this run, I was able to unlock School Cavern on day 17 of spring, which allowed us to farm iridium to afford 640 starfruit seeds for the first day of summer. I was able to expand the fields to hold 960 starfruit crops for the second and third harvests of starfruit, bringing our total starfruit yield from summer to around 2,500. We also spent a lot of time setting up a tree farm to obtain lots of wood and oak resin to craft lots of kegs for turning all of our starfruit into wine to make big bucks. There were also many more achievements made during the previous months, so if you have not seen those recap videos, I recommend checking them out before this one, and I will leave a link for those. This video will cover the entire month of winter and give a recap on everything I did, and I'll explain many of the tips and tricks I use. If you are interested in this run in greater detail, also consider checking out the playlist with all the individual episodes, which will go through the run day by day in more detail, which I will leave a link to. This winter recap video will be a nice reflection on our run so far, for those who have been following along, but it will also be great for those who have not by providing a nice summary of all we did in this month of winter. The main goal for winter from a profit perspective is to continue crafting lots of kegs and keep turning our starfruit into wine to sell. We will also gain a new income of starfruit from the Ginger Island farm, which we will unlock at the start of winter. In this run, we are trying to complete each of the perfection goals as soon as we can, so from that perspective, there are definitely many more goals to accomplish during the winter. Collecting golden walnuts, unlocking Key's golden walnut room, and beginning the key challenges are all a big part of this winter, and in addition to those larger goals, we still have smaller ones like leveling up friendship with the NPCs, catching every fish, and the monster eradication goals. And of course, all of these tasks we want to accomplish in winter, we will attempt to do in the shortest amount of time as possible. This is what I find to be more unique about this run, that we are not solely focusing on min-maxing profit by earning the most money in the least amount of time, but also min-maxing perfection goals by trying to complete the most tasks in the least amount of time. This is the big idea of the run, so I hope you enjoy this fourth recap video of Winter Year 1, and now let's get started with the gameplay. We begin the first day of winter the same way we will begin most days, taking care of our farm chores. These are tasks that must be tended to very frequently here on the farm, and usually I will complete them in the mornings, but sometimes at later times in the day as well. A frequent chore is cycling the farm machinery, which includes the furnaces, seed makers, and more. I will often try to cycle these machines whenever I organize my inventory and chests to save the most time. We also have daily farm tasks like petting the animals and baiting the crab pots, although these are skippable if we are in a rush one day. Then there are less frequent chores like collecting the mushrooms from the cave and harvesting the fruit tree fruit and crops from the greenhouse. We are growing some ancient fruit in the greenhouse, which I will turn into seeds to plant for year 2, so it is important we check the greenhouse often. I will also often have trees growing with tree fertilizer here on the farm to gather some extra wood and hardwood, so we'll need to harvest and replant those periodically. That should just about cover it for the farm chores, although I won't be showing much more footage of them. They are very important to the run and to keep in mind that they exist. After taking care of the farm chores on winter day 1, we head out to town and notice a strange shadow guy who we follow and receive a magnifying glass from, which will allow us to collect secret notes. We then make a stop in the sewers to give Krobus a pumpkin for his birthday before arriving at Willie's shack to repair his boat in the back, costing us 5 battery packs, 200 hardwood, and 5 iridium bars. We warp straight to the desert and end the day at School Cavern. On day 2, we wake up with the worst possible daily luck, but that will not stop us from traveling to Ginger Island for the first time today. Willie's now opens at 8 a.m., so we arrive there early and spend 1,000 G on a boat ticket to Ginger Island. Once we arrive, we head straight to Leo's hut and collect our first golden walnut to give to his parrot, unlocking the north portion of the island. But before we head up there, we will explore the jungle a bit more and discover the gem bird shrine, which we already know the solution to thanks to Mousy Pound's predictor. Completing this awards us 5 golden walnuts. After this, we travel up the north section of the island, digging up some golden walnuts along the way to the volcano. We use our watering can to cross the lava in the volcano and enter it for the first time. We swiftly ascend the volcano, stepping on switches to open doors to the next floors and defeating enemies in our way with our sword. We gather many resources along the way, including precious dragon's teeth and, most importantly, cinder shards, which we will use at the forge. Once we arrive at the 9th floor, we are met with many buttons, and after stepping on all of them, we find the correct one to open the door forward, and also a secret button which opens a door to a chest. There will always be a chest on the 9th floor of the volcano, and often it can be a rare chest, but the one we got here is just common. We make it to the top of the volcano, to the forge, to make use of the 65 cinder shards we gained. Our pickaxe is enchanted with the Swift bonus, which increases its swing speed by 33%. Then we combine an iridium band with a lucky ring, and combine a napalm ring with the burglar's ring. We exit the volcano and head back to the central island area, where we unlock the west portion of the island, where we can find a new farm area where we will be able to grow any crops we want regardless of the season. We pass out on the island, but wake up back at our farm for day 3. After farm chores, we sell some iridium bars to Clint in order to make some purchases later. Today is Linus's birthday, so we give him a loved coconut as a gift, and our tree farm tappers are ready, so we harvest those for a bunch of oak resin. We then purchase the big shed upgrade from Robin, then purchase the Galaxy Hammer from Marlin. The Galaxy Hammer is one of the most important purchases of this run, as the hammer's smash attack is very powerful for quickly taking out enemies. Back at the farm, we craft some more kegs, putting us at a total of 73 now. We cycle in Starfruit while collecting the Starfruit wine that is ready. We ended the day fishing at the ocean since we have a special order request from Demetrius to catch ocean fish, and at the same time, we want to catch unique winter fish we have not yet, like the squid. On day 4, we start by planting as many winter seeds as we can to grow winter forageables, which will be important later on. Since it is a Thursday, we make a stop at the desert to pick up a magic rock candy, but more importantly, purchase over 500 starfruit seeds and deluxe speed grow from Sandy to plant on the island farm. We warp to the beach, then take Willie's boat to the island and make it to the farm, where we plant all of the starfruit seeds with the deluxe speed grow. These will take 8 days to grow, so we will be able to harvest and replant them every 8 days for a nice constant supply of starfruit for our kegs. After this, we have a little time left in the day and are able to collect 9 golden walnuts within just a single in-game hour. This includes 3 from mining muscle rocks, 1 from the shipwreck, 1 from spraying the Dougie with our watering can, and 4 golden walnuts from digging with our hoe in various spots around the area. This brings us to day 5, where we wake up and head to the island as soon as we can, limited by Willie's shop opening at 8 a.m. Today will be all about collecting golden walnuts around the island, and we will start off at the farm area here and grab 1 from a bush. Then we will enter a cave where we find a Simon-like minigame where we have to remember the order the crystals play their sounds in, then play that sequence back by clicking on the crystals. This awards us 3 golden walnuts. We collect them and head by the Tiger Slime Grove, where we slay the slimes for a golden walnut. We find another walnut from a bush and 1 more from digging a spot with our hoe. Then, near the golden walnut room, there is another walnut in a bush, then another way to the top in another bush. While we are here, we will chop down all the trees in this area, as these trees grow back for free, so there is no reason to not chop them down. We will always need more wood, and I make sure to use a foraging buff food when harvesting the trees as well. Back by the island farmland, we dig up and water some space for melon seeds and a wheat seed, which are crops that the Bombo Big Gourmand frog wants us to grow, so we will preemptively grow them for him. We use 5 of our golden walnuts to unlock the Parrot Express fast travel system, and travel to the jungle and into Leo's hut to give him a duck feather. We also find a hidden golden walnut in his hut by smashing something with our axe. Next, we travel up by the volcano and shoot a tree with our slingshot to uncover another golden walnut, then enter the volcano, but rather than heading forward, we take a detour to the left and use our watering can to bridge across the lava, finding a secret area with 2 golden walnuts. We gain 1 more walnut from digging a spot outside the volcano, then spend 10 golden walnuts to repair the bridge to unlock the dig site. This is an important upgrade for us since it unlocks the island field office, which will give us many more golden walnuts down the line. The dig site in itself is also nice and offers a good amount of resources, including mahogany trees for hardwood and some nodes for bone fragments and clay. Unlocking this also gives us some immediate golden walnuts. We find 2 in bushes across a bridge. Then we backtrack up by the volcano and enter some thick trees to find a very well hidden golden walnut inside the trees. We find 2 more golden walnuts hidden inside the ground, then another in a hidden area towards the bottom of this map, and another one by taking a secret passage back to the central island map. We head back to the island farm and spend 20 golden walnuts to unlock the sleep hut, which will allow us to sleep here on the island and wake up back here if we want to. The time is almost 10 p.m. and we spend the last hours of the day with a quick but lucky volcano run. We come across a rare chest and get a dragon tooth club, not too exciting, but then make it all the way to floor 9 and find another rare chest, this time to find a hot Java ring, which will be a great addition to our ring arsenal. We pass out at the volcano, and since we repaired the sleep hut, we would normally now wake back up at the island farm, but while I was playing this run, there was a glitch where if I exited the game and reloaded, I would end up back at the main farm, and since that is what happened here, we are starting day 6 back at the main farm. After taking care of farm chores, we travel to Ginger Island and then to the dig site, where we dig up a golden walnut we missed and grab another in a bush outside the volcano. We then enter the volcano and gather lots of cinder shards and make it to floor 5, where we purchase the island warp totem recipe from the shop. We may end up crafting some island warp totems, but generally it is a lot more cost effective to craft a beach warp totem than walk to Willie's boat, since an island warp totem does require a dragon tooth. After gaining some more cinder shards on the next floors, we make it to the forge and enchant our watering can for the bottomless bonus, which makes it so we have to never refill the watering can again. After grabbing some more prismatic shards from our island chest, we return to the forge and enchant our axe for the swift bonus, which increases its use speed by 33%. Looking back, the shaving enchantment may have been a better choice with its increased wood bonus. Finally, we modify our galaxy hammer with some emeralds to increase its swing speed. Then we head back to the main farm and use our newly enchanted swift axe to swiftly chop down the trees we have grown on the farm. There's definitely a noticeable speed increase, but if we had chosen the shaving enchantment, we would have gained 3 extra wood per tree, which would add up fast. We enter our house and go to the cellar, where we find a bunch of cheese and goat cheese done aging at iridium quality. I collect these and add some more gold quality cheeses, and I do this rather than age Starfruit wine because the wine takes a whole 2 months to age, which is not really worth the time in my opinion. I much rather age the cheese to use as a nice healing item, and the goat cheese as a gift for Robin and Leia. We pass out and move to day 7, where we start off by purchasing a fish pond from Robin, and while we're out, give out some gifts, most importantly a summer spangle to Caroline for her birthday. We make a quick stop at the sewers to pay the Shrine of Uncertainty 10,000 G and choose to swap our combat profession. We travel to Ginger Island and start fishing at the ocean to catch the island-exclusive lionfish. Then we go to the island farm and dig up a golden walnut and find a secret passage behind the trees to another one, and we find one more in a bush near the tiger slime area. We dig up one more golden walnut, which was marked by a journal scrap we received previously. Next, we head to the jungle and cut some weeds to find a mummified frog, which we donate to the field office for a golden walnut. and complete the island survey there for 2 more walnuts. We use 20 golden walnuts to purchase the island resort, which will allow NPCs to come visit the island. More importantly, this unlocks the east portion of the island and the Pirate's Cove, where we can find some more golden walnuts. We fish up one from the star-shaped pond and dig up another one. Inside the cove, we dig up another, then start fishing in the cove water to catch the stingray, a fish unique to this location. We spend the last bit of the day in the volcano and pass out, and are able to change our combat profession to acrobat, which cuts the cooldown on special moves in half. This will be very nice for the Galaxy Hammer's smash attack. We move on to day 8, where we wake up at the island and start fishing in the farm area pond to catch a blue discus. Then we head back to the valley and pick up Willie's Juicy Bugs Wanted Special Orders quest. We recently found a secret note that leads us to the Joja Mart van, and we bring it a rabbit's foot in order to obtain the special charm, which permanently increases our daily luck. After stopping back at the farm, we head down to the Cindersap Forest, where we find the Festival of Ice. We talk to every NPC to get some free friendship points, and I do notice there is a rare crow being sold by the shop, and normally we need all 8 rare crows for perfection to unlock the deluxe scarecrow crafting recipe, but this certain rare crow we can actually purchase from the traveling cart, so we do not need to worry about it here. We finish the festival by competing in the ice fishing challenge and find ourselves back at the farm at 10 p.m. We craft and use an island warp totem to return to Ginger Island and return back to the Pirate's Cove, which is much more lively this time. Every non-rainy, even-numbered night, pirates will visit the cove, and we can play a darts minigame and win this 3 times to get a total of 3 golden walnuts, which we do. We return back to the Central Island area and spend 10 golden walnuts to unlock the island trader. Then we pass out at the volcano, moving on to day 9, where we wake up at the island again to get an early start to the volcano. We make good use of the Galaxy Hammer's smash attack, where we use the special ability and then repeatedly spam press the normal attack button to deal tons of damage at once. The only downside to this is some enemies will get knocked back a lot, like the magma spirits, so it is difficult to get tons of damage on them all at once. But with enemies like slimes that do not get knocked back much, or ones we can corner, we can pretty much insta-slay them with this trick. And with good timing, we can get multiple hits on tougher enemies like the magma spirits too. I know some consider the hammer smash spam a glitch and prefer not to use it, but I personally decided to use it in this run, just like I chose to make use of Mousy Pound's predictor tool. It's really up to the player on what gray area strategies they want to use in their run, but I do acknowledge that some people may not agree with using these methods. After a lucrative volcano run, we make it to the forge and finish up modifying the Galaxy Hammer with a ruby. So I have 1 ruby for increased damage and 2 emeralds for increased speed. I find the increased speed helps a lot with the less mobile enemies like the lava lurker and slimes, but not so much with enemies that are knocked back a lot like magma spirits and serpents, since by the time you are ready to swing the weapon again, they are already knocked back far away. For these enemies, having straight up increased damage would just be better, so that's why I decided to have some of both on my hammer. After slaying some lava lurkers, we have enough dragon's teeth to trade for a banana sapling, which costs 5. The banana sapling is very important to obtain early, since it takes a month to grow bananas, which we will need some for more golden walnuts, and for the island warp obelisk as well. We warp back to the main farm and go to sleep, then wake up on day 10 and use an island warp totem, then check a panning spot at the ocean and get extremely lucky with a lucky ring. We then have a quick volcano run and make it to the forge, where we enchant our sword with the haymaker bonus, which will give us increased fiber and hay from weeds. Then we enchant our hammer with the Artful bonus, which decreases the cooldown on special moves by an additional 50%, which stacks with our Acrobat profession for a total cooldown decrease of 75%. After this, we head to the island resort and give out some gifts, which I will try to do so whenever I'm at the island. I do plan out these days quite a bit and utilize restarts of the day, so I will check what NPCs visit the island and plan to bring gifts for them accordingly. It also happens that Sebastian was one of these NPCs, and it is his birthday, so we give him a void egg as a gift. We then head back to the valley, where we harvest our oak resin tappers and craft 60 new kegs. We place them down and cycle our Starfruit, now having a total of 132 kegs for Starfruit wine. We end the day in the Mutant Bugler to gather some bug meat for Willie's Juicy Bug special order and catch a slime jack while we are there. We pass out and wake up on day 11, where we warp to the desert for a magic rock candy, then head to Clint's to crack open some geodes, mainly to obtain the fossilized skull from a golden coconut and obtain a mango and banana sapling. We then make a quick stop at Ginger Island to plant these fruit tree saplings, then finish the day off by grinding for bugs for the Juicy Bugs Wanted quest. On day 12, we travel to Ginger Island, where we have grown a melon and wheat to fulfill the Gourmand frog's request, and he rewards us with 5 golden walnuts for each crop. Then, since it is raining, we head outside the Pirate's Cove and solve the Mermaid puzzle for another 5 golden walnuts. We have a lucrative volcano run and obtain the mermaid boots from a rare chest, and then enchant our fishing rod with the master bonus. We warp back to the farm and end the day by harvesting and replanting the winter seeds. On day 13, our first island starfruit harvest is ready, so we buy some more seeds from Sandy and then harvest and replant them at the island farm. We have also reached the milestone of collecting 100 golden walnuts, which unlocks the mysterious Keys Golden Walnut Room. We enter this room for the first time today and accept the Skull Cavern Invasion Challenge. We then spend 5 golden walnuts to unlock the island farm mailbox, and another 20 to unlock the farm warp obelisk. We ended the day with a quick volcano run, and we also had sold a good chunk of the starfruit harvest from today to obtain over 500,000 G. We start day 14 by giving Harvey a rabbit's foot for his birthday, then head to Robin's and use our money to buy a bunch of wood, and then 500,000 G to buy a community upgrade, which will be a house for Pam and Penny. Then we warp to the desert, trade our jades on Staircase Sunday, and head into Skull Cavern, but not the normal Skull Cavern. Since we selected Key's Skull Cavern Invasion Challenge, we are faced with an upgraded Skull Cavern with tougher enemies that deal more damage and have more health. Along with the added difficulty though, we also get increased rewards. Most notably, we can now find radioactive ore. Our goal is to make it to floor 100, but we also want to gather lots of loot along the way. We make good use of the hammer's smash attack to quickly slay enemies to get them out of the way and collect the loot. We also use bombs generously to collect lots of ore and get more ladders and holes to spawn. We also constantly take advantage of pausing to think and react to every situation and swap our rings between the iridium and luck combination for collecting items and having the increased luck from going to floor, and between the monster slaying rings, which include the burglars for extra loot chances, napalm for the explosions on sleighs, and hot java for some extra coffee. We also use crafted staircases when needed on any floors that are annoying or would take too long to clear. Using all of these strategies combined, we make it to floor 100 and we're able to collect a good amount of loot along the way. We pass out and begin day 15 at Cindersap Forest, fishing in the river to catch the legendary glacier fish and the lingcod and perch as well. In town, we select the wizard's prismatic jelly special order, then head to the island to the golden walnut room and select the Skull Cavern Invasion quest once again. We take the boat back to the valley where we are met with the Winter Night Market Festival, where we give out gifts to the NPCs and also complete the mermaid show to obtain a pearl. We then pay 1000 G to take the deep sea fishing tour and catch the blobfish, spookfish, and midnight squid, which are unique fish needed for perfection. On day 16, we only visit the night market to give out gifts, and then spend the majority of the day farming void spirits in the mines, and are finally able to slay a total of 150 for the monster eradication goal, which will award us the Savage Ring. On day 17, we head straight to the mines to obtain a prismatic jelly. It is important we do this as the first thing in the day, so we can easily restart the day if we get no luck with the prismatic slime. The strategy I am using is repeatedly taking the elevator to floor 5, checking for a prismatic slime, and then going back up and repeating if I do not find one. After a few restarts of the day and many floor checks, we finally find a prismatic slime and slay it for the prismatic jelly. We then head by the railroad and harvest our oak resin tappers, then take the secret passage to the witch's hut and fish there to catch the void salmon. We then deliver the prismatic jelly to the wizard and also give him an iridium quality purple mushroom as his gift for his birthday. Back at the farm, we craft some more kegs, cycle our current kegs, and are now at a total of 181 Starfruit wine kegs. We end the day at the night market giving out more gifts, and take the deep sea fishing tour once more just for fun, even though we have all the required fish from it. We move on to day 18 and notice that it is a super luck day today. We will be completing the Skull Cavern Invasion Challenge once again, but this time focusing more on grinding enemies for loot and trying to gather as much radioactive ore as we can. The daily super luck will help a lot, and we will also plan to use 2 magic rock candies. We warp to the desert and grab a magic rock candy from the desert trader, then start at Skull Cavern by entering the first floor and exiting if it is an undesirable floor. I keep repeating until I find a nice floor to start on, and then we get going with our usual strategies. I will be skipping more floors than normal so we can get deeper in the cavern faster for increased rewards. Of course, if we come across any radioactive ore, we will mine or bomb that, as well as large chunks of iridium ore. Late into the dive, we end up slaying a total of 1,000 slimes, which fulfills that monster eradication goal. We end up collecting 91 radioactive ore and 313 iridium ore from this run, and a good amount of other resources as well. On day 19, we harvest and replant the winter seeds on the farm, and craft some new crab pots to place on the beach so we can obtain the lobster and crab, which we still need for the catch every fish perfection goal. We then travel to Ginger Island to the Golden Walnut room and use our key gems to purchase the horse flute and the key to the town. The horse flute is very nice as now we can summon the horse whenever and wherever for the speed boost. The key to the town is also very nice as it lets us enter any building even if it is normally closed at the time. We end the day fishing at the mines and are able to catch the lava eel and ice pip. We move on to day 20, where we give Evelyn a beet for her birthday, then simply have a normal but very lucrative Skull Cavern dive. We wake up on day 21 and head to Robin's to purchase the second community upgrade for 300,000 G, which will unlock some shortcuts around the valley. We then warp to the desert and buy over 500 Starfruit seeds from Sandy. We take these to the Ginger Island farm and start replanting our Starfruit with the seeds using the optimal harvesting and replanting technique. Essentially, you hold your cursor far away from your character so the action happens right at your feet, and walk over every farm tile, harvesting the Starfruit and replanting one at a time, which does take quite a bit of real life time, but since the game freezes time during the harvest animation, the only time that is accounted for is walking from space to space, so this ends up being a very in-game time effective harvesting and replanting method. After this, we give out some gifts at the resort, then buy a mango wine from Gus. Then we head to the island trader, where we trade 10 coconuts for a golden coconut, 30 bone shards for the banana pudding recipe, and 50 cinder shards for the deluxe retaining soil recipe. We head back to the farm, and then north of the abandoned Joja Mart to dig up a green strange doll that we got from a secret note, which happens to be the last artifact needed for the museum collection. We then enter the abandoned Joja Mart, where we drop off a gold star void salmon, caviar, dino mayo, prismatic shard, and the gold star mango wine we bought at the island earlier. This restores the missing bundle and will unlock the movie theater, where we can see movies with NPCs once a week to get some friendship points. We stop at Clint's and use the geode predictor to break open 3 golden coconuts, 18 artifact troves, 27 omni geodes, 43 magma geodes, 32 frozen geodes, and 24 normal geodes. We obtain a whole bunch of minerals, but most notably a few treasure chests, pearls, and golden pumpkins. I also got 5 ancient seeds, which we can craft into plantable ones for year 2. We then make a quick stop at the mines to catch a stonefish, then stop at the Adventurers Guild to pick up our Savage Ring. Then we stop at the museum and drop off the last 2 artifacts to finally complete the museum collection, and we are awarded a star drop from this. Even though it is past Willie's closing time, the key to the town allows us to enter his shack and take the boat to Ginger Island. We end the day with a very short volcano run, but since we passed out at the island, we will wake up at the island. And yes, the glitch is indeed fixed, and I'm able to save and exit and still wake up at the island, which is nice. We first stop at the Golden Walnut room, and this time select the Danger in the Deep challenge. We then dig up an artifact spot and get lucky with a snake vertebrae, which always seems to be difficult to find. We get even more lucky from panning at the dig site and finding a fossilized tail, and then top it off by digging up a snake skull from another artifact spot. We donate these fossils to the island field office, but do not complete any new collections. We then have a very nice volcano run, where we make use of our new Savage Ring, which gives us a +2 speed boost for 3 seconds every time we slay an enemy. This ring is very useful, and I wish I made use of it earlier in this run, since we are constantly slaying enemies in the mines and getting this short speed boost, which makes things go a lot quicker. We make it to the forge and combine our second lucky ring with another iridium band, then combine our hot Java ring with the Savage ring. We then return to the valley and select the wizard's A Curious Substance special order quest, and after some resource gathering and gift giving, head to the sewers to fish. We are able to get a perfect catch on the mutant carp, and this fish is the last catchable one needed for the catch every fish perfection goal. All that is left is waiting on the ocean crab pots for the lobster and crab. We spend the remainder of the day getting a start on the Danger in the Deep quest at the mines. Similar to the Skull Cavern invasion, the mines are upgraded and have more difficult enemies. The Danger in the Deep is probably even more difficult than the Skull Cavern invasion, so we will need to have a good strategy for this when we continue. We wake up on day 23 to a super luck day, and give Leia a goat cheese for her birthday before heading to the mines. We will be attempting to traverse as many floors as possible for the Danger in the Deep quest today, and we are starting off at floor 10 from the head start we got yesterday. The first 30 floors have an ocean theme, and what is nice about this is you can sometimes find beach forageables, including a rainbow shell or nautilus shell. The enemies are not too difficult on these floors. There is the blue squid, which is a flying enemy, and there can be often many of them at once on a floor, but they move slower than serpents and aren't too much of a bother. Floors 30 to 40 are a bit annoying, since similar to the regular mines, these floors are dark. The enemies aren't too dangerous, but it can be hard to see them and therefore easy to take damage from them. Most annoyingly, the darkness blocks sight of ladders to go down, but this can be solved by using glow rings or iridium bands for the glow effect. Floors 40 to 50 are jungle themed and are pretty interesting resource-wise. You can find stumps and mahogany trees here, which can be nice if you're in need of hardwood. Similar to the regular ice floors, we can find dust sprites here, although they are re-sprited as mushrooms. They still are slayed easily and drop a bunch of coal, which is always nice, and the fact that they are slayed easily and there's a lot of them is very nice for the napalm ring to cause lots of explosions, and nice for the savage ring as well, so we can keep getting speed boosts. Then, on floors 50 to 70, we find more jungle floors, this time a bit darker visually, and with some new enemies too. This includes the spiders, which spawn in large groups and can jump around, and when they are in the air, cannot be hit. They are slayed fairly easily when on the ground, especially with the hammer smash attack spam. We also find the scariest enemy on these floors, the putrid ghost. This ghost has a chance to inflict the nausea debuff, the most annoying debuff in the whole game, which makes it so you cannot eat any food or use any healing items for a whole 2 minutes. However, this problem is easily solved by bringing ginger or ginger ale, and after getting the nausea debuff, you can eat either of these items to simply make the nausea debuff go away. Easy as that. We then find ourselves on floors 70 to 80, which are frozen themed, and we can find frozen skeleton monsters which do not have too much health, but can deal lots of damage, so make sure you stay healed when dealing with them. We next make it to floor 80, and from this floor and beyond, we will find upgraded Void Spirit enemies. The Shadow Shaman can inflict the Jinxed debuff, which just lowers defense by 8 for 8 seconds. More annoyingly, the Shadow Sniper can inflict the Darkness debuff, which makes the screen go very dark for 5 seconds. This we just have to wait out, so hopefully we have a good idea of where to go on the map, and try to not waste any time getting lost from the decreased vision. We are able to make it all the way to floor 90 before we pass out, which means we traversed a whole 80 floors today. On day 24, we harvest our oak resin tappers and craft 41 new kegs, then cycle our starfruit wine, and now are at a total of 222 kegs for starfruit wine. We then head to the mines to finish off the Danger in the Deep quest. We make it all the way to floor 120, and we are awarded with 50 key gems from this challenge. We pass out and are met with a profession swap since we paid the Statue of Uncertainty earlier in the day. We switch our farming profession to artisan for the 40% increased sell bonus on artisan goods. This is essential for when we sell our Starfruit wine, which we will be doing soon. On day 25, we wake up and head straight to the mines to grind for an ectoplasm. Similar to the grind for prismatic jelly, this is best done early to make restarting the day easy. The ectoplasm has a 9.5% chance to be dropped by any kind of ghost, so we just take the elevator from floor to floor until a ghost is found, then slay it, and eventually we obtain the ectoplasm. Next, we warp to the desert to pick up a magic rock candy, then travel back to the farm to take care of chores and do a little decorating as well. We then head down to Cindersap Forest and make use of a new shortcut to the ocean to check our crab pots, but unfortunately, still no crab or lobster. We keep heading south in the forest all the way to the sewers to the bug lair to use our haymaker sword to get lots of fiber from weeds. Then we exit the sewers and find ourselves at the Feast of the Winter Star Festival, where our secret person to give a gift to is Abigail, so we give her a pumpkin, then receive a rainbow shell as a gift from Jazz. We talk to every NPC for friendship points and then find ourselves back at the farm at 10 p.m, then pass out at the mines grinding some dust sprites for coal. On day 26, we go through our chests and throw a huge assortment of items in the shipping bin, most notably all of our Starfruit wine since we now have the artisan sell bonus. We will see exactly how much money we earn at the end of the day, but for now, we'll give Clint a topaz for his birthday, cycle the beach crab pots, then take the boat to the island. We take a stop at the Golden Walnut room and purchase an enricher, which may help for placing down fertilizer for year 2, and all we need is one of these, since we can move it from sprinkler to sprinkler. I also purchased the crafting recipes for Hyperspeed Grow and Deluxe Fertilizer, since we may want to craft some for our year 2 crops. We then have a lucrative volcano run and are able to slay a total of 150 magma spirits for the eradication goal. At the forge, we re-enchant our hoe to get the reaching bonus, which allows us to charge up the hoe for a 5x5 area of effect, which is exactly the area an Iridium sprinkler covers. We return to the farm and harvest our winter forageables, which we will be crafting into more winter seeds on the last day, similar to what we did on the last day of spring with parsnip seeds to preserve the hoed land and allow the sprinklers to water the ground. We will be doing the same thing on the last day of winter, so we can have an already hoed and watered field for the first day of spring. We spend the remainder of the day at the mines, using the elevator to go from floor to floor until we find a clump of weeds, then use the haymaker sword to collect lots of fiber. My plan is to build 4 Junimo huts for year 2, so we will be needing 400 fiber. We pass out and can now take a look at our big earnings, a total of 2.1 million G. Of course, the majority of this was from the 491 Starfruit wine, which made us over 1.5 million G in itself. We also sold a bunch of other items that we will not be needing to keep, since of course any extra money is nice, but also because eventually we will have to ship at least one of every item, so we might as well get a head start now. We move on to day 27 and start the day at the mines farming duggies. We need some earth crystals to be able to build the mountain obelisk, and we also complete the monster eradication goal, which means we have now finished every eradication goal. We head to the wizard's tower and build 4 Junimo huts on the farm, which will be nice for harvesting coffee beans. You can take a look at the farm planner I have come up with, and I will be placing the Junimo huts and, later in the day, iridium sprinklers according to this plan. We also build the mountain obelisk and the beach obelisk, then head to Clint's and spend a good chunk of our earnings to buy 6 stacks of coal. We finish the day by placing down sprinklers and scarecrows on the farm to start getting the field ready for year 2 planting. We pass out, and since we paid the Statue of Uncertainty earlier in the day, we switch our fishing profession to mariner, so crab pots will no longer produce junk items, which should help with getting the lobster and crab quicker. We then move on to the final day of winter and year 1, day 28. We sell some of our gold star starfruit so we have a bit of money to spend on seeds for the next day, and then start to hoe our fields around the iridium sprinklers we have placed down. Around 11 a.m., we use the beach obelisk to warp to the beach and find a bunch of NPCs heading to Ginger Island and give them gifts before they leave. We cycle our crab pots, and we did finally obtain a crab, but still no lobster, which will be the last fish we need. We then make an important stop at the source to pay the Statue of Uncertainty once again. This time, we will be needing to switch our farming profession back to agriculturalist, so we get the 10% speed bonus for planting in year 2. Then we head to Robin and buy a shed and spend the rest of our money buying over 7 stacks of wood. We arrive back at the farm and craft nearly all of the winter forageables we grew this winter into winter seeds. We continue hoeing the ground, and once finished, we plant all of the winter seeds to cover all of the area we hoed and all of the Junimo huts areas. Again, the winter seeds we are planting will just die on the first day of spring, but will preserve the hoed and watered farmland, so all we must do is scythe the dead crops, rather than having to clear a bunch of debris and re-hoe and re-water all the land. With the small amount of time left in the day, we continue to min-max by cycling any farm machines and organizing our chests. We pass out, which concludes the last day of this month of winter, and the last day of this entire year. I don't have an entire plan laid out for year 2, but what is for sure is we will be finishing the perfection goals as soon as we can. Of course, total perfection will not be reached until the end of year 2 by getting every cooking recipe, but we still will try to make as much money as possible and get the remaining obelisks and golden clock as soon as we can. We also will need to continue raising our friendships with the NPCs and craft every item in the game. There will be quite a bit to get done at the start of spring with planting new seeds on the field and just getting the new farm setup actually set up, but after that, the videos I make moving forward for year 2 will contain many more days than usual per video, and things should move a lot quicker because of that. There is not really a whole lot left to do, but I will keep min-maxing until we obtain enough money for perfection. This will be at least 12 million G to buy the obelisks and gold clock, and by continuing to expand our Starfruit wine production, we will be able to achieve this during year 2. And with the extra time between Starfruit harvests and Kegs cycling, we will have some more Skull Cavern dives to sell more iridium bars for profit. Once the money requirement of perfection is achieved, I will skip over days until we get every cooking recipe, then we can finally complete perfection. I do plan to live stream some Skull Cavern runs and more of this run, so if you are interested in that, do keep an eye out for it, and if you are interested in future videos covering this run, please consider subscribing so you can be sure to see the videos when they come out. Also, please consider leaving a comment with anything you'd like to say, or perhaps let me know what you are looking forward to in year 2 of this run. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye.